The Steve Katsos Show is produced by volunteers, most of whom don't have a real job.
Welcome back, everybody. Well, it's time for tonight's first guest. Now, she's an author, and she's got this fantastic book. It's called Grace Trail, Find Your Footing and Move Toward the Life You Were Meant to Live. Please welcome to the show, Ann Barry Jolles. Welcome, Ann. Now,
hello.
You are the creator of the Grace Trail, and we all know that I need some grace in my life, so I asked you to come down here to the show to help me out.
That's right.
And I love your story. Let's talk first about the Grace Trail and what it actually is. I got the book here, and you can find it online. But this began for you in your kitchen in 2000. What happened?
Well, we reached a really hard time in my family in 2000, and I sort of lost my bounce in life.
Yeah.
And I found myself saying, I need to step into a state of grace. I had no idea what I meant by that, but I knew where I was terrible. So later on that day, I saw 5 words in the word grace, and they are gratitude, release, accept, challenge, and embrace. And I started asking the questions, even though life is really terrible, what can you be grateful for? And I'd answer that, and then I'd ask, what do I need to release to move forward? And the A is, what's calling out for acceptance in my life? C is, how do I want to challenge myself to move forward? And E is, what can I embrace as possible in my life? I started asking those questions, and every time I asked them, I felt a little bit better. And then one night, my husband came home from work, and he said, let's just do grace together. We walked around the block every night because it was really hard for my whole family. You know, both my parents had passed away and whatever. It was just a hard time. And every time we did it and every night we did it, we felt better. And I started sharing it with people because I'm a life coach and I'd share it in my practice. But it wasn't until 2012 when my son was in Afghanistan in combat, and he did make it back. But I found myself again struggling. And I read an article. Okay, go on.
No, go ahead.
I read an article about the Appalachian Mountain Trail, and they said, who's hiking the trail in the article? And the question was a whole lot of vets walking off their war. And I said, wow, where do I go to walk off my war? And that's how this started. Should I keep going, or did you have a question?
Oh, no, this is fantastic stuff.
Is it with me? You're following?
Now, I do want to mention that, first of all, thank you for your son's service, who is serving in Afghanistan. And I know also that for you said it was tough because in today's day and age, when your kid goes to war, you have things like Skype and social
horrible.
media,
Yeah.
and you pretty much felt like you were right there with him,
there.
and it was a very tough moment for you.
It was horrible.
But he's back now, and Grace was there for you, and what the system that you came up with was there for you.
That's right.
And other people are using it too for other things.
Right. What I did was, when I read that article, I said, well, where can I go to walk off my war? And I said, I'm going to make a trail right in my hometown of Plymouth. I went down to the beach, I picked up big rocks, and I wrote gratitude. What are you grateful for? I plopped it down on a trail, and then I got a big rock, and I wrote release. What do you need to release to move forward in your life? And I put that down the trail, and I did that with all the letters. I put up a map. I didn't think anyone would discover it. People discovered it. I expected a cease and desist order from the town of Plymouth because it's not my land.
Right.
Never got the cease and desist. Plymouth has been wonderful. They've embraced the Grace Trail unbelievably. And thousands of people have walked it in Plymouth, and now it's spreading across the country, and I'm getting requests for people to learn how to make their own Grace Trails in other countries. So it's really spreading.
That's fantastic. Now, you also that's fantastic stuff. You were a speaker at the TEDx, one of the TEDx speakers, and you were able to talk, and your talk was cracking the Grace Code.
Yes.
And what happened that day when you did the speech? Did you enjoy that?
Oh my God! You know, this audience could never scare me because when I did the TEDx, it was streamed worldwide. So I pretended it wasn't. I pretended it was just the audience because it blew my mind. But it was an amazing opportunity. It's called Cracking the Grace Code because it tells the story about how the word grace came into my life and really, I say in some ways saved my life. It certainly saved my family during a really hard time. It could have blown us apart. It pulled us together. And so I had the opportunity of sharing about the Grace Trail at the TEDx down in Wilmington. And it was really a life-changing event for me because it was just a bigger opportunity than I'd ever had in my life to share.
Well, we're gonna hear more from you. We're gonna take a break and come back. I know you got some products now, and we're gonna talk a little bit more about where this Grace Trail has gone. Once again, the book, Find Your Footing and Move Toward the Life You Were Meant to Live. We'll be right back with more from Ann Barry Jolles. How about that?
For more information about the Steve Katsos Show, go to stevekatsos.com. And don't worry, I won't tell anybody.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm here with author Ann Barry Jolles. And Ann, you've created the Grace Trail. We've heard some fantastic stories from you. But what's even more amazing is other countries where this is popping up. Where else has a Grace Trail been made?
Okay, well, I got a request from Egypt. And a woman reached out to me and said, how do I bring the Grace Trail to Cairo? And so she and I are working on that because, as you can well imagine, that's kind of a sensitive place to put a Grace Trail. So she and I are being creative about some ways she can possibly bring that into her life there. I just recently got a request from northern British Columbia. So I say it's up near the North Pole, and there's a woman up there who's working with indigenous people, and so she's working on the tribe and with the tribe and right on the reservation, and she wants to interpret the Grace Trail, the 5 words of grace, and build a Grace Trail in their native language to help with all of the issues that they're dealing with up there.
Oh, that's good stuff, right, everybody? Now, you're a public speaker and you're a coach and you do things with people. Now, tonight you've brought for our audience, everybody has a rock with one of the Grace Trail words on it, so we can show some people in the audience there. They've got their rocks. Hold up your rocks, everybody. There you go. So Ann's giving you each one of those, and you've had some products. So I want to mention first here, my dad has these. These are our hope cards.
Yes.
Okay, and inside you can actually read directions and stuff. It can help you cope with things. Now, where do people get the hope cards?
They can get them on my website, and they're on Amazon now. Actually, they just got onto Amazon.
Oh, cool stuff. So I'm going to keep these hope cards.
Those are for you.
I need a lot of hope these days. It's been tough with the cable. Now, my mom also has this. This looks like a heavy-duty product that you have going on for people. You're creating your own Grace Trail in here. So what's in the box?
Well, since so many people were asking me how do I create my own Grace Trail, I decided to make a kit. So that has everything in there that you could possibly need to make your own trail. So I have recovery centers asking for it, churches, schools, colleges, hospitals, and all sorts of organizations, businesses who want to make their own Grace Trail, and now they can. That just came out this week.
Yeah.
Brand new.
Yeah, that's fantastic stuff. 10 years of this show, and I often hand props and things to my dad. He didn't see that one coming and it landed on. Sorry, Dad, that was my fault. I should have told you it was a heavy box coming. Now, you got some great connections here in New England with BU and Simmons College, where my wife went to school, and you're still doing stuff around here with people, right?
Oh, yeah, I do. I work with clients, life coaching, but I go into hospitals and set up the Grace Trail. I go into businesses and set up the Grace Trail. And I actually work with authors and writers all over the world. I work with a marketing program, so I Skype, and I coach people all over the world.
So. I want to mention this, too. You were the Life Coach of the Year 2013 at the International Coach Federation of New England. How about that? And that must have been a great honor for you.
It was wonderful. It was really great. It was joy. It was a joy to receive that. Yeah.
That's great to see that something that you came up with is being loved all over the world, and you're getting recognition for it. And and now, when your son hears you talk about this, now that he's back from Afghanistan, what does he think about the Grace Trail?
My son's awesome. He had a rough couple years when he came back, and he's now really thriving, and he's getting his associate's degree, and he just got his EMT. So he's totally on board with the Grace Trail. He's you know, it's a language we've talked our whole life, the 5 questions and the 5 words, and I think he uses all those 5 words in his life.
Yeah, well, I hope that other people can look at this online and the book, once again, Find Your Footing and Move Toward the Life You Were Meant to Live. Grace Trail, thank you for coming, and Barry Jolles. We appreciate that.